Yo, 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 what is going on, everybody? Gabriel Santos here. And in today's video, the intention is to give you some inspiration, insight, and ultimately energy that will allow you to use this weekend, or any day really, to move your life forward, cultivate more of the energy that you really want in your life, um, and to be done with some of the pestering procrastination that might be happening in your life. And what I mean by that is, if you're like me, right, if you're like a lot of people, there are things on your to-do list or things that you've been wanting to do, been meaning to get done, that you simply haven't, right? Some of those things you've had on the list for years, right? Clean the closet, change the rug in this room, take care of the spider web in the garage, right? And then you have things that have piled up just in general. Something might maybe yesterday, I need to go pick up the package. I need to give Sally Sue this thing that I borrowed from her. And I suppose the underlying message here is to use the weekend or use the day or to pay attention to the power of moving things forward in your life and taking care of the things that you've been meaning to take care of, both in the recent past as well as things you've been wanting to take care of for years, right? And if you're someone who already has a high level of personal power in their life, you have things rolling, you have schedules, you have routines. What this may look like is you really taking a look at some of those big items that maybe you've been putting off, right? How can you be a better significant other? You've been meaning to, get back in shape, right? These are big items, right? Whereas maybe if you're someone who wants the big items, but you've also been struggling with the smaller items, right? For example, picking up the trash in your bedroom or getting back on a drinking water routine, right? Whatever it is, bigger, smaller, medium, meet yourself where you're at and begin to cross things off the list of things you've been meaning to do or things you've been wanting to do. And, because it's easy to get caught up in, I want to be productive, I want to get things done, which I get the intention of. But what I've learned in my journey is the value and the energy that I get and the fulfillment that I get on a day-to-day basis when I'm constantly taking care of the things that I've been meaning to take care of and the promises I've made to myself and the promises I've made to others, right? And this has been proven in my experience for myself to be one of the most important factors in what makes me happy, fulfilled, vibrant, and just alive, right? Because let me give you one example, right? Let's say, it's really no different than how New Year's resolutions go, but we make resolutions or just promises or intentions all the time, right? Like, let's say you go on vacation or maybe something more relatable. Maybe you like journaling, right? It's a powerful process for you, but you don't make it a habit. But you know that when I journal, I feel so much better, and it's so important to my mental health and well-being, that it's critical, right? It's critical that you take the time to put that in your day, right? And you know, something you might need to be doing is getting back to like an actual to-do list. I know that for me, as much as I want and like to not have a schedule or not have a plan, the reality is the things in my life that I want and need to do typically won't get done unless I put it on paper and I commit myself to crossing those things off the list, right? And it's not just a matter of, oh, I need to do this today. It's a much deeper reason, right? It's like, oh, when I cross things off the list, who I get to be for myself, who I get to be in the world, who I get to be in my life is way different than the version of me that doesn't have the list, right? That doesn't get these things done, right? Think of the baggage that we acquire when we stack up all these things we've been meaning to do, big and small, but we don't fulfill them. And so then it stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks, and it gets to a point where nothing's happening, right? And then it's just survival, and then it's just, I have the utmost level of respect and empathy for not having enough energy because work is so tiring and bills need to be paid and relationships, and family and friends and this and this and that, and I totally hear you. I totally hear you. And imagine what your life would be like if, in addition to the stress and the responsibilities and the burdens that you have in general, that you take the time to give yourself the gift of being someone that moves their life forward on a consistent basis. And imagine the momentum that you gain and the type of stuff that will start happening in your life as a product of us constantly showing up in our lives, right? It's tremendous, and you and I both know what that's like. You know what it's like to be on top of your game and get things done and to have routines, um, and many of you do have those things going. And so to start to wind this video down, my overall intention here is to remind you the power of just moving your life forward, and to really hammer home that this is a critical piece for many of us, if not all of us, right? Because of course we want to be, more than just survival mode and more than just the bare minimum, right? And I understand that oftentimes the bare minimum is kind of all we have energy for, um, and I'll leave you to deal with that in the way that you handle that. But there's a tremendous, something opens up when we cross things off that take burdens off our shoulders, right? Take the load off. Like, okay, it's not something I need to do. It's something that's done. It's something, and then you clear that off the plate, and then you can tackle the next thing. You cleared that off the plate, you tackle the next thing. And so if you're someone who maybe you have piles of things that you haven't done, you've been avoiding, procrastinating for years, right? Start with something small, and then begin to clear the deck off your to-do list, off your intention list, and again, give yourself the gift of moving your life forward and handling the things that are important to you. Because for me, and I think many people can relate, you know, it's not just about getting things done. It's who we get to be. It's who you get to know yourself as when you're alone and no one's watching, right? The sense of pride that comes over you because you get things done. You know that you take care of things that are important to you. And then when you're someone who has yourself taken care of, you can then be someone who can show up for other people, right? Because you're not hampered down by all these things I need to do that I haven't done, and I'm gonna hide because I'm ashamed that I haven't done it, and I get that whole world. But it's such a simple switch that all of us can make just by taking care of the things that need to get done and realizing that, you know, moving our lives forward is the key to one of the keys to having the life we want and deserve most, right? So I'll leave it at that. Happy Friday to everyone, as this video is made on Friday. Hopefully this new content is providing you a ton of value. But in any case, Please leave comments down below on the things that you are getting done, celebrations, wins. Maybe you can also share, some blocks or any resistance that you're experiencing about this, and I'll reply the best I can. And be sure to also support each other in the comments, because that's what this is about, right? Anyways, guys, again, happy Friday. I love you all. I appreciate you all. I'll see you all in the next video. Until then, peace.